how do we really identify? And some examples which I saw in my own schooling or education is, there are examples in or the 0.2% in whatever activity they are doing. How do we get it? A simple example, if we ask everyone to walk for 100 meters, I think most of us would do it. We stretch it to 10 kilometers, some of us will fall short. And there will be only few who will make it through. So the whole thing of how many experiences are we creating in the system, in the school system, where we are stretching them to their limits. So if we say musical, what is it that we can do actually to create that, and where we get that 0.5 percentile? And maybe that's my way of looking at it. One. Number two is what I agree with is of students for 5 years, and there were parents who would come and say, this is this bright kid who's very good in science, why don't you mentor and coach? And so for me it was, I thought, I know my science, so it's easy, go and start interacting and teach them some more science. But very soon I started realizing that I was so under-equipped to even look at the way in which we have to actually train them and coach them. A lot of times the assumption is, I know X amount of knowledge and that is what ensure that they get it very fast. So those are the 2 points. The third point which I wanted to drive through is in terms of the whole, to have a few of them as my classmates. So one of this was this bronze medalist in IMO, International Maths Olympiad. So one experience which I had was, this was MA 101 course, first year, and we both were watching this movie, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai or something, night, 1 o'clock, and we both decided that for the next day's exam we will not study. And so I was also stretching myself. I had no clue. I thought he might have worked harder, so he got a better rank and he got through this bronze medal in this. And we went for the exam, both equally unprepared, and then when the grades came out, this guy had actually aced it. He was the topper there. And I was stunned. How is it that no effort or equal effort, and this guy is ending up somewhere at the top? And that's where there's something of being gifted. So this guy understood it, he knew it, it was there in his blood. Of course, he went on to do his PhD, but he dropped out of the program. This guy had a nervous breakdown in his third year of whatever PhD he was doing. The reason was, a lot of times he was always given problems to solve. In PhD, he had to identify his own problem, and then he realized, I was never the top 15 ranks in JEE, all that, and eventually, so he got back, he again grouped himself. The family had to support him, because when ma'am said it is struggle, a lot of times it is that, because he's an outlier there.
Been the summary, and if I have to talk about gifted children, again, as ma'am said, I would like to talk about the teachers who are a product of the system. So if I tell my teachers, you go and find out the gifted children, it would be someone who's learnt everything by rote, has done well, and has got 99%, and she would say, this is the best in the class. But then, before we do that, as they said, teacher empowerment is very important, and for that teacher empowerment, I think, we need to open our eyes and see how do we empower them. What is it that they need to go into the classroom and see? Again, I fanatically look at Bloom's taxonomy for this. I'm a firm believer in Bloom's taxonomy, and in that, even today, when I talk to my teachers, they say, ma'am, analyzing, application, that is the highest of Bloom's taxonomy. That is the highest of the high-order thinking skills. But when we do that workshops in the school, when I do my workshops with the teachers, they realize it is just above the low order thinking skills. So analyzing is not that at all. It is when you go into evaluation and creation that you have helped children. We need innovators in this country today, and if that has to happen, cognitive thinking has to come in. And this can happen, as Mr. John said, in the first 6 years, 90% of the brain is developed. But after that, whatever 10% is left, if we as teachers can develop that, that would be extraordinary. We as teachers need to look at that. And Sharath was also talking about outliers. For the past 3 days, I've been working with my 8th, 9th, and 10th graders talking about outliers. Now, who are these outliers? Are they born intelligent? How do they become outliers? And intelligence till one level is okay. After that, every level of intelligence would be the same. It is the choices that they make and how they go about fulfilling this choice. Persistence, of course, is not a 21st century skill. Yet, I think Indians have that persistence. If you put this with the global aptitudes that are being brought into India today, I think we would do quite well with our children. So when you develop this thinking skills, as Mr. John said, again the neurons start working, all these happen. So intelligence or not, creative thinking, evaluation will happen, and children will be able to do well. They will become gifted. So giftedness is not something that a child is born with. It is something that the child can make of himself. And it is how we direct this child's thinking process that is very important. And all of us, I think, as teachers and as leaders of school, need to direct this thinking, first in the teachers, then in the students. Thank you so much.
Very important aspect is, as Mr. John said and then others discussed, it is the environment we create right from the birth onwards. From womb to tomb, knowledge acquisition is an unending process, but 90% happens before 6 years. So in that particular age, what we create is most important. What we expose the child to or what opportunities we give the child to is the most important aspect. Okay? Traditionally, we have this saying from the Vedas, the shloka from the Vedas, which says, Guru Madhya Sthitam Vishwam, Vishwamadhya Sthitam Guruhu, Gurur Vishwam na Chanyosti, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Guru is the embodiment of the knowledge and wisdom that is there in the universe, and the child gets it, the student gets it through the Guru. Now, of course, the Guru's place is taken by internet today, and we have some problems. Okay, all through the discussion for the last 2 hours, we have redefined a gifted child. Okay, now before we conclude, I just want to have the feedback. This is a monthly session we are going to conduct, and then we are going to take different topics as far as Brainfeed is concerned. On behalf of Brainfeed, I just want to have your feedback on how this session was, and then what are you carrying home, and then what do you suggest, or your opinions, your comments and compliments about this session, and then how you want it to be, what changes to be made in the next session to come in the next month. We have a jam session, just a minute session. Hello, to conclude the session.
It's really an interactive session, and I'm sorry I started on a wrong note. But then I really got to understand and learn different aspects of gifted children because, yes, I was with a notion of gifted children because of my exposure.
Not only you, many of them were of the notion.
So today I came to know from Mr. Sita and the others that their perspective and their work with these children, and it's been a great platform because this is where we can sort few things out and help improve because we are in the service business. So how do we improve our service? Because again, we are trying to bring in new methods and technologies or way of teaching or curriculum or way of looking into how do we improve the services. This would be a great platform. And I know the dates. Do we have a tentative date about when do we have these sessions?
We will decide upon that.
Right. Okay. That's great. Thank you so much.
With this Brainfeed Magazine, conference, and it's a wonderful session. I've been given a platform to, listen to the most learned people around, and it's a very new experience for me, and I'm really thankful to Mr. Brahman for this opportunity which he has given me, and I've learned many things, which I can implement, at the school level where I work. And surely I look forward for such kind of interactions in the future. Thank you.
At the same time, we have come to know so many things from different people. As we are speaking about the gifted children, there may be gifted people coming over here giving a gift of opinion to all of us. Thank you.
Good feeling to be here and a part of it. I think it's a very good idea to keep it every month, and I'll be happy if I'll be a part of it. Thank you so much.
Many questions were raised, and most of us will be walking out of the room with a lot of questions in. I think that is what is required. We are not here to find solution, maybe find more questions. Someone else may at least find an answer for us and show a path. Good idea for us to be meeting like this. Thank you.
Like the 10 commandments that says that do A, B, C, D, and then, it's all there for you. I understand that it's, we'll not take away a ready-made solution and implement it, but very interesting, and yes, lot of takeaways. Thank you, everyone.
Very interactive and very, very knowledgeable. And I take back with me the life skills which need to be imparted to our children in the right manner would help them deal with the situation. Thank you so much.
It has been very interesting, What I take from this discussion is that all the teachers should be empowered to, have an environment for all the children to learn on their own through different skills. So I feel each child is gifted and each child should be given an opportunity to learn he or she wants to. Thank you.
Session, we came to know so many things here. Thank you for it.
This session was very good. We all teachers, we have different opinion on this. So we shall work on this, and we help the students to overcome it. Thank you.
With one definition here and going back with other definitions. Thank you. Thank you.
Continue the monthly session or not. Maybe not in a monthly, once in 2 months is good for me. I mean, my opinion. Okay.
There are so many topics to be discussed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's right. Okay, thank you.
Only in Hyderabad. Tomorrow we are going to have in Visakhapatnam. Next month in Kurnool and Vijayawada. So every month I don't want to burden you people. So your turn will come definitely after 3 months.
Respect that and appreciate that, and yeah, once in 2 months and 3 months is most welcome.
Session like this, and I enjoy. Even though I'm into schooling, I'm from software background, and when I just listen to a lot of people from education, they're only talking about life skills. I believe that life skills is more important than academics. So this is what I take away from my session. So thank you for all your.
From the same field but with the different ideas. I think I had a lot of inputs, and we all look forward to implement and share our ideas, and it would be a wonderful platform so that we interact and we share our ideas. Thank you.
Say, Mr. Brahmam, good idea and great platform. It was interesting. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Yeah, once in 3 months is huge relief.
I would like to thank Mr. Brahman for creating this platform, wherein even I learned many things, many amazing facts, in fact, wherein, Mr. Johnson has mentioned that within 6 months, within 6 years, how the child develops. And in most of the schools, we take these sessions only for granted, and we concentrate more on, higher studies, SSC batches or the IGCSE batches and all those things. And we see, we always plan more and more curriculum, blend of curriculums for only the secondary schools, wherein for pre-primary, whatever is the curriculum, we just go granted for that. But as he clearly mentioned, Mr. Johnson, that if these stages are properly planned, then we need not plan about higher batches. That is really an amazing fact, and it will really help us develop our school as well. And as far as the session was concerned, we were not only talking about the gifted children, we were trying to look into each and every child so that we can identify the gifted students. So we were in our session also trying to browse each and every student we are dealing with, so that we can identify the gifted ones and treat them in a manner so that they can come up in their lives, and also create a footsteps for other students to come to that level of how they can improve and how they can follow and how they can also get enlightened in life. And other than that, what about the profession of teachers, the most amazing fact that most of the teachers are here by choice and not by chance. That is what I would like to conclude. Thanks for creating this platform. It was a very interactive session. Thanks a lot.
Where we can meet and exchange ideas and think for all types of students, because as a teacher I also always felt that children are always left out because the teachers are always concentrating on the average and below average children. It's wonderful meeting you all and getting to know how each school and each person, each educationist thinks. And I'm happy that we all are trying to provide something better for our children for the coming generation. Thank you.
Stating this, I'll repeat what Parveen said, that yes, this is a platform that we all need, where we learn from so many people. I came with the expectation that there will be somebody talking. So this was very refreshing. And it was like, okay, this is fantastic. So please keep doing such good work, and I am so glad I could meet so many people here. Thank you so much for that.
It was wonderful for all of us to be able to get together and meet each other and share ideas with one another. And I look forward to a lot more of these. Thank you.
Whatever I wanted to say, everybody's saying in bits and pieces. so what I've got to say here is that, yes, today's session was really very interactive. Thank you, Mr. Brahmam, for this. And it was not any age group. It was right from the birth till this child leaves the school. So that was very interesting. And it was a good learning. And my take that in spite of, so many things, we all need to be also a part of the solutions. I think next session should be more on solutions. And all of us should be a part of the solution. Yes?
Of meeting. I am very lucky to be a part of it. And also, I myself felt that I had a great nutritious food for my brain. I am thankful for all the people who shared.
Yes, it has set me reflecting. The thing is, all educationists are here. We shared a lot. We didn't come to great conclusions in certain areas. But what's very, very important and a learning that I'm carrying from here is I must reflect on how to identify. I must reflect on how to carry on with a gifted child. How do I need to encourage that child to go further beyond the school?
As education leaders, it is a training for the leaders, what I feel. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
And ready to adapt to the situations based on the student requirements and all. My main takeaway is that at this level, you guys are meeting up like this and having sessions and trying to learn from others is a very good thing, which I really changed my mind in terms of education sector, first of all.
And I have learned many things from the learned people over here. Still, one thing strikes in my mind is that I have a doubt, who is the gifted one?
Good to be among the eminent personalities from different educational sector, and I'm thankful for the Brainfeed and Mr. Brahmam, who has given an opportunity to be a part of this occasion.
For arranging this program. It's informative. We had discussions, but of course we have not come to a conclusion. We'll be further. We are carrying it home to think more and discuss with our teachers and implement more. And as the youngster who was talking about the IIT and other things, that makes us think more, because those who are born in the 20th century, as Madam used to say, we are teaching the children of 21st century. We should equip ourselves, energize ourselves, always be innovative to do more better things for them. Think what is going to be their future, as Mr. John said.
And thank you, Mr. Brahmam. This has been an intellectual interaction, and many of you all were resonating my thoughts, and I think I've been having more parent orientation programs for the parents of the pre-primary. And today also I was having a parent orientation where I've been telling the parents not to help the kids, let them do everything on their own, because parents always love to do things for their children. Don't allow them to think, like Mr. John said. And I think I'll just share one thing. This is a small child, 4 years old, not even 4. And the father is an IITian working, and he bought him a toy bus and with a driver in the seat. And as usual, boys, he broke the driver, the neck, he took it out. And according to me, a gifted child is a child who is spontaneous, quick, and has the skill to satisfy everyone. I think Sharad should be agreeing with me on that. And the father said, "What did you do? Why did you pull off the driver?" And the answer what the boy gave zapped the father. Daddy, the driver got down. Spontaneous, the father could not say anything, was in a state of shock, and I think this child is gifted. So you should have the necessary skills. It's all about life skills. How do I save my skin and solve the problem? And this is all.
Children, around half an hour ago, I finished a session in Army Pre-Primary School in Golconda. Sorry for joining you late. I'm a person into a very, very rare field called graphology. I look at the handwriting samples, I analyze the people. Gifted children can be observed from handwriting sample also. So you people always, I think most of your school correspondents and headmistress, I know many people here, you make others to look at the handwriting samples of the students, like teachers. You make teachers to look at the handwriting samples of students. When there is a flow, it's not like beautiful handwriting. All the beautiful handwritings are not number one handwriting samples. They are the most gifted children. A child, maybe as you were talking about, like nursery too, even nursery child also writes, though it's not ABCD, though he's scribbling, you can make out a lot many things from the scribblings. In America, as his handwriting sample was analyzed without being told that this is Gandhi's, analysis was, this handwriting, we don't know whose handwriting is this, but this writer must be able to convince 900 people out of 1,000 people. He is a great orator. He is the simplest personality. Like these are all the traits got from Mahatma Gandhi's handwriting sample. So though the handwriting is not very legible, you can make out a gifted children from rhythm of the handwriting, from the flow of handwriting. You'll see that kind of intellectual strokes, the beautiful flow is there in the handwriting sample. You will not find heavy pressure on the paper. Gifted children writes with a wonderful I dots closer to the stem. All their T crossbars are on higher side. They are little lengthy. And you will find most of the common mistakes in the next issue of Brainfeed, July. I especially wrote an article on common mistakes, how to overcome those common mistakes. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Few words. He doesn't want to speak at all, but...
So, on behalf of the Brainfeed team, so I want to say thanks to each and everybody who are all present here. I want to have small groups because earlier we did very big events. This is the smallest event. So I want to do these kind of events across India because if you have a more than 100 people, interaction would not be there. We will have only 2-3 people. They talk, we listen and we go. The purpose of having these 30-40 people group, so everybody will take part in the discussion. That is why we say it is a debate and discussion. Today we had a good debate and discussion. So I hope in the future programs also we are going to have same kind of debates and discussions. So thank you one and all.